Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's video. It's a message from the Great Central Sun. Remember who you are and why you came. Okay? And so this week's video centers on a message from the Great Central Sun, exploring how we are all fragments of the original source light, experiencing life in physical three-dimensional form. It all began this morning when I set out for a walk on the Torc Mountain trail. The air was crisp and clean, with sunlight streaming over the mountains and filtering through the trees. As I climbed what I felt like an endless series of steps before reaching to the top to follow a moderate loop trail back down, memories began to surface. But before this, however, I decided to pull 3 cards, and I scanned them quickly before setting off for the day. As I first had to drop my niece and nephew off to school, as I do from time to time. The message from the cards were simple. Number 48, the Great Central Sun, which meant I was to channel a message today from the Great Central Sun. Connect to the source of all existence, letting the message inspire you to lead with a balance of empathy and action, heart and mind. I then chose a second card, number 72, Garden, 9 of Earth Guardians, or 9 of Pentacles in the traditional tarot. This card spoke of how we work so hard and yet must remember to take time to enjoy the fruits of our labor. It brought me into reflection about the choices we make and how we live, especially the choices I've made since moving to Ireland. As I drove the children to school, I found myself caught in the morning rush. Cars lined up, everyone trying to drop their children off at the same time. My sister-in-law and her husband chose to send their children to a larger school outside of their local area. For them, this felt right, and they believe it offers their children a wider range of opportunities, more friends, and a broader educational experiencing. Witnessing that bustle this morning made me reflect on my values and why I'm drawn to the smaller country school just around the bend from my house. For me, the quieter setting feels more personal and spacious, offering a freer approach that aligns with the simpler way of life that I've chosen. I sent my children to this school, and having attended a large school myself, I know firsthand that bigger doesn't always mean better. This contrast of perspectives made me think about the different ways we all navigate life in today's world, and how my own path has been shaped by the desire for simplicity and intimacy. As I drove out to the Torc Mountain Trail, I started reflecting on how different my life is now compared to the years I spent in America. Back then, I worked long hours in a factory, taking every bit of overtime so I could maintain the lifestyle I thought I needed. My ex and I both had good paying jobs, a big house filled with everything we could want, 3 cars, a swimming pool, snowmobiles, and quad bikes. And from the outside, it looked like success. But on the inside, I wasn't happy. After my oldest son was born, I realized the most of my free time was spent cleaning the house or shopping at the mall, buying things I didn't need, often on credit, believing they would somehow make me feel better. Those objects ended up sitting unused, collecting dust, while I kept working just to keep the cycle going. Everything shifted that day, the day I boarded the plane to move to Ireland, though. I looked at my son and realized in his first 4 years, he had spent more time with babysitters than with me. My heart sank. I had given more of myself to my job than to my child. And on that plane, I made a vow. I would never live that way again. And I haven't. It's been over 20 years now since I was on that plane moving my life to Ireland. Today, my life is completely different. I live simply in a renovated turf shed with no mortgage. I no longer chase possessions or buy things to fill a void. Instead, I choose experiences that bring me joy. Walking in the forest, swimming, singing, dancing, creating, whether it's sculpting in clay, writing a book, channeling a message, or sharing a video, I feel free. I spend time with friends and family and people who I love. We make memories together. Free from consumerism, free from the cycle of working to buy what doesn't matter. And what struck me on that drive is how deeply society programs us from a young age. Go to school, get a job, buy a house, start a family, then die. So many people spend their lives building what looks like success, a fancy box to live in, while sacrificing their time, health, and joy to jobs that drain them. From the outside, it may look impressive, but often inside, there's no fulfillment, only survival. And when life ends, that box becomes something for others to fight over. We have forgotten how to truly live. We have forgotten who we are. After parking near the trail, I looked at the third card I had pulled that morning. 41, stone circle, 6 of portals, or 6 of cups in the traditional tarot. And this card speaks of revisiting the happiest moments of your youth, allowing nostalgia to delight you in the present and inspire your future. With that energy in mind, I began to walk. And I'm going to share now my insights and the thoughts that came to me as I walked up to the top of the hill of the Torc Trail to channel a message from the great central sun.
So I'm out here on my walk and I'm just having a big view of the mountain range that is right above me. It's the Torc. I think that's the McGillicuddy Reeks and the Torc Mountain. I don't think that's the McGillicuddy Reeks, I think. And then I'll be going around to the Torc. So I'm going to show you the view. It's absolutely beautiful. So this is the mountain range. And the sun is out and it is a bit windy, but it's not too bad. And over here is one of the lakes of Killarney. It's a bit choppy out there today. I can see I was out there the other day on a walk around the lake and it was, oh my god, so calm and so beautiful. But this is the view, and there's a man on the path, so I can't really take a video of him at the moment. So as you can see, I'm having a nice, lovely walk, and usually don't like to do a video where I'm doing a lot of moving around and walking, but I think that today that's just going to be the way it is. I was uh, thinking a lot about the way we live and how we don't take time. A lot of people do not take time, especially I'm living in the most beautiful town with the most beautiful views and there's like so many different walking trails that you can choose from. Every single day there's something different in the same area. And how blessed we are, the people that live in this area, how blessed I am to be able to come out to these like beautiful, iconic places anytime I want to, and to be able to just enjoy the life that is around me, to enjoy my life, to just be out in nature and to choose me instead of some material thing or like a television set to watch TV or whatever. Yeah, we definitely spend too much of our life trying to keep up with the Joneses, is what you would say in America. Keep up with the Joneses, keep up with the Smiths, try to keep up with everybody. What are we doing all that for? Why aren't we living our lives, spending time with each other? When we were younger, we used to go and visit people. We used to just stop by, like we get in the car and my dad would go for a drive, Sunday drive, and we would stop at somebody's house or one of our friends or somebody, my grandparents, or wherever we were driving by. Oh, let's stop and see so and so. And then we would stop and we would visit with them. We would spend time with them. And I remember, like, they would get the cards out and they would start playing cards, or the parents would be like talking and the kids would go off playing, and we just were up for hours. We just would have all this good fun time. We didn't have to call ahead of time to see if they were going to be home. We just stopped by, and if they were home, they were home. If they weren't, they weren't. Like, I remember there's so many memories I have of my grandparents' house, going to grandma's house, and we would just stop by, and grandma would say, go down to the freezer and pick out a pie, because my grandmother would make pies ahead of time. They wouldn't be baked yet, they would just be frozen. She had a whole bunch of pies all in there. Go pick out a pie and bring it up, and she'd stick it into the oven, and we'd have hot peach pie or hot apple pie or strawberry rhubarbs and all this kind of stuff we would have. And we had time for her to actually bake the pie and eat it before it was time to go home. We don't do that anymore. We don't just stop by and visit people. If we do, we have to make a call or a text and find out if they're going to be there and if they're feeling up to company and all of this kind of stuff. There's something has gone on with our society that has changed so much since I was a child. I'm going to send you now over. We're going to go over here. This is getting over to the forest part. And this is where the bottom of the Torc waterfall is. And I'm going to go over and I'm going to show you. This is the path. Over there is a parking lot for it. And there's a big main, it's a busy road. So they have an underpass that goes underneath it. I'm sorry if I'm shaking this too much. I'm trying not to, but it's hard to walk and not move a camera and make it shaky. So we're coming over here. They do have, there's always somebody walking around. So, oh, we got the horse dung. They have a thing called the jaunting carts over here. And this is where they put the horse poop. And So this is the river. I'll take you over to the river. It's kind of gentle today. And the sun's kind of not really in. There's a man over by the tunnel. That's why I don't want to. So there's this beautiful bridge. This is in the main road. And then there's people here, but there's the tunnel. And I'm gonna walk through the tunnel. And we'll be on the other side of the tunnel. There's just so many people here right now. I feel bad I can't. Oh. So here's the tunnel. And the road's up above us. Woo-hoo. People are driving over us. And we're on the other side. And then there's like a little visitor bathroom area. And we'll go up to the waterfall. I'm gonna push pause on this. I was just watching some people take pictures of themselves here at this spot. And it kind of made me think about how the only time we take time to do that is when we're on a vacation or something. Or coming to like this is a place where all the tourists come to. And the only time we stop to do that kind of thing, unless we're a person that's kind of addicted to our phones and making selfies, is when we're on holidays. The only time we take time out to be with our family and enjoy each other. It's kind of sad, really, what our world and what our societies have turned into. And I think that that's a reflection on what I'm going to be speaking about today. Possibly what is important to speak on is, do we want to keep living this way? Or do we want to restructure and start living a life where we feel whole? Where we can take time out to smell the roses and go to beautiful places like this where I am today. There's got to be beautiful places in nature all over the earth. I know that I do have an exceptionally great place to be in, but that doesn't mean that you don't have something in your side of the world or wherever you are. There's got to be something beautiful, because nature is beautiful. I remember as a child, we used to go out and play. I remember my mother would say, it's too good of a day to stay inside. And she basically would boot us out of the door and tell us, go out and play, and I'll call you later when dinner's ready or whatever. And I would spend hours and hours outside, and there was in my neighborhood, there was a railroad track that wasn't being used anymore. And on the other side of the river was a sewage treatment plant. And we really weren't supposed to be playing out there because of the sewage treatment plant. And but I remember just spending so much time by the trestle of the tracks and making forts and playing for hours and hours and hours. You could do that in here. Look at this. That would be a great place to make a little fort area. But of course, we couldn't do that because it's restricted. We're not allowed to even, there's signs all over this park. We're not even allowed to pick a flower or pick up a rock or a mushroom or a tree branch or anything Everything has to stay where it is. If a tree falls, it has to stay in that spot and you're not allowed to touch it. And you're not allowed to really play. You're allowed to come and view the place, but you're not really allowed to spend hours playing like we did as children. There is something about that in our world, how we have made it so that even the wonders of the world and the beautiful places in nature that aren't owned by anybody, that you're not allowed to forage inside. And we're not allowed to forage and eat the berries and you ever think about that? I never thought about that till just now. Now we're getting up to the actual Torc waterfall where everybody always lands and everybody's always there taking pictures. It's the tourist hotspot, and it's the start of my ascent on the thousands of steps that I have to go up as I'm going up to the top, because it's part of my exercise to go up onto the top. And I won't be recording or talking while I'm doing that part. So we're getting up to the steps and just trying to be respectful of the people that are here. And before I turn the video around. Okay, so this is where the steps kind of start. I'll just stop for a second and we can take the beauty. I'm noticing some trees that have fallen into the waterfall that weren't there. There's one tree in the middle that wasn't there the last time I was here. That's another thing. When the trees fall like this, they just leave them. They're not allowed to go clean them up. It's fairly gentle today. So now I come up on the top of the steps and one last look at the waterfall, and then there's where the steps start, and they just go on and on and on. So I'll see you when I get up to the top and channel a special message. Okay, so I came to a spot to show you that I'm taking a breather on. So I remember I channeled the message, remember a couple of weeks ago, with the woman inside the inner earth. And she told me, she gave me a vision of two trees. You see these two trees? In between, and a cave entrance down below. And they said that when I saw it, I would know that that's the entrance to the inner earth. Now, when I came down here, this is on the same path. There's steps over here. As you can see, I stopped to take a breather. And it's on the same pathway as what the tourists take. So I don't know if this is really the place or not the place, but it just seems very ironic that we have the cave and we have the two trees up above us, just like what I saw in my vision. Now, I don't believe that this cave is, it's a cave from an old tree, I think, that came out with their roots. That's where it started out, I think. And as you can see, there's a lot of debris and everything inside of it that would probably need to be cleaned out and stuff. maybe spend some time here journaling and meditating, maybe sitting over here on the ground here, um, and just spending some time in this spot. But these portals don't open up for just anybody, and you have to be at the right vibration and the right frequency in order for it to open up and bring you into an inner earth atmosphere, I guess, or into their world, into another dimensional frequency. And so I'm going to keep visiting this site, and I might start spending some time. I might not do it until after the winter, and come up here and clean the area out a little bit, and basically just move the sticks and stuff and sit here and just spend some time by it and see if this is the place or if it's not the place. So I just wanted to show that to you, that I think I found it. So I'm at the top of all the steps, and I'm in a different part of the forest, and I'm going to be going to find a place to channel the message soon. And so I just thought I would take you a little bit to the path that I'm walking on today. And I was talking about not being able to pick up rocks and things. You're really not supposed to, but there's different times when I find these like really beautiful, there's these really beautiful white quartz, milky white quartz that's always here. This one's a little one. I have tons of them, and I pick them up and sometimes I take them with me, or sometimes I leave them behind. And these milky white quartzes, they feel like they're full of liquid light. They're really powerful and really energizing. At one time when I had gone down to the Dingle Beach, and I had gotten a whole bunch of them, big ones and small ones, and we brought them back anyway and washed them up. And there was one day I was doing a light infusion circle. It was an in-person one, not the ones that I do online. And I got the yoga mat out, and we put all of the stones, we made a circle around the yoga mat, and we used that as the bed that we lay in for light infusion. That was the most powerful light infusion circle that I ever had, was when we were laying in the middle of that, and the amplification of the healing and what was going on. Everybody was buzzing. We really and truly enjoyed that powerful session. And it's just from these rocks that I get from the ground. I don't pay lots of money for them. I just get them when I'm out on my walks and out on my little bit of adventures. So we're getting into the area. So I want to give you, instead of looking at me, there's a little stream. This is a magical area. I find it magical and enchanting. And over on the other side of these trees is where I actually put the Indara on Halloween one year in 2019 to open up a portal for the elementals. This is also the place where I had an experience when I first lived here with what I believe were some pixie, they're about 3 foot tall elemental beings. Don't know if they were fairies, we call them fairies, but maybe part of the Tuatha De Danann or something like that. And I was meditating on the side of the river here, and I all of a sudden felt like somebody was watching me. I looked over and I saw them peering out from one of the trees on each side of the tree, and then as they realized that I actually saw them, they disappeared behind the tree again. I think it was, I was in such a high vibrational frequency that I was able to see them, and they didn't realize that I could see them, and they were watching me. And then there was another time when I was doing a video blog in the during the lockdown period, and I was down by this other forest that I go to, which is very similar to this one, and I was doing a lot of embedding light into the ground when I was there, and I did it with this crystal, and I used to sing and walk the figure eights and place the light into the ground, into the earth. And I was doing a video talking about it, and I had gotten the crystal out, and they started taking two sticks together and tick, 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 and I was like, something's watching me. And then I would realize that they were wanting me to do the thing that I usually do with the crystal. And I told them they had to wait until I was done talking to the people, and then I would play with them. So I have had a lot of experiences where I do feel like I have had a little bit of communication with the elemental beings while I'm out into these forests. And there was another time when I was doing a very, very strong meditation, and I got up from the meditation and I went to do a video blog, and I had this fairy card that had these elemental beings in it, these tree elemental beings, and I was standing underneath this tree, and all of a sudden I could feel the guy, it was like a tree person, a live tree person, tap me on the shoulder, and it scared the crap out of me. But they were all excited because I was talking about them. So now I'm just going to find my spot, and once I find my spot, I will start channeling a message for you. Now I have to show you, it's cool. So this is some trees that have been fallen down. This is the underbelly of the tree. This have been the rocks that were underneath the tree before, and they were pulled up. The tree is huge. The tree sticks out here and it goes all the way down almost to the river. It had fallen over. This is has a lot of that around here. There's another one here. There's a lot of trees, as you can see, that have fallen in this area. And then look, there's a baby one. There's baby ones growing out of. See how nature, we have a dead tree, and look at on the dead tree. I'm going to show you now. On the base of the dead tree are seedlings of new trees. Look at all the seedlings. Look at what's coming out of the base of the old tree. And these will grow up and be tall just like the others someday. And there's a little mushroom growing on the tree. I think this might be a good place to channel a message. Ayaki, ayakaya, kiyakaya, lu. Anako, anakaya, kiyakaya, lu. Anako, ayana, kiyayana, kaya, lu. Anakia, anakaya, kiyakaya, lu. As I close my eyes and connect to the EK Honia Collective through the Great Central Sun, I ask that you give us a message today for humanity. Something that will help people move forward. And as I do this, the rays of sunlight start coming down, and I feel a wash The ray feels like a being, a long, tall being in front of me. Uyana tayana ko o tayana tukayana hornatai. Huana tatayana kayana hu. A large dragon comes in. He perches down in front of me. And he gives me a moment to feel safe and secure. And as I sit with this, with the dragons perched down in front of me, a green orb begins to form and take up the space around me. You have nothing to fear, my friend, for your world has programmed you to feel scared to be alone in the middle of the forest. There is nothing but green and a hint of pink. Settle now, dear one. Settle now. Feel safe. You are safe. The green ray is placed around me like a bubble. And the dragon will sit and perch in front of me to keep me safe. As I channel a message from the great central sun. The light is getting brighter, and the golden light is coming in, surrounding the green bubble of protection and love. Who comes forward today to speak to us, to speak to humanity with a message for the collective from the great central sun? And the great central sun appears very small, off in the distance. A small, white dot that becomes closer and closer and closer. There is a being holding. The being is in silhouette, and it is one of the Council of Nine, holding the great central sun in front of me. They're saying, look at the beauty. Look at all that this light holds. This is where you come from. For the great central source is where it all began. The great central sun is where source, what we would call source, the creator, started. And each of us has been created from this one huge, gigantic light. We have gone off and experienced many different things. And each time we go to experience something in the physical, like we are here on earth, we take a fragment or a fractal of this light, and this is what we bring with us. We always have the light from the great central sun embedded into our cells, into everything. We are the light. We are multi-dimensional beings of light, and we always will be. We are the creators of our own reality. We came down to this earth to live and create in the physical, to experience many, many things. They're telling me about the thoughts that I've had recently, the thoughts that I shared with you today before I came to this spot in the forest. And they want each and every individual who listens to this message to start looking at the way that they're living their life. Do you feel fulfilled? Do you feel whole? Are you living a life, or are you waiting for tomorrow to happen? It's time to experience what life has to offer. You have a choice. You always have a choice. Do you want to live your life as a slave? And we will take Robin's words, to live in a fancy box where you can say, look at me, look what I've achieved, look what I've accomplished? Are you going to spend your time in a comfortable, smaller box that has everything you need, but gives you the freedom the time to create through what makes your heart sing, what you're most passionate about? When you do this, your light gets brighter and brighter. You have a choice, dear ones. Do you want to live in a fancy box that your children and family can fight over after you're gone? Or do you want to live in a simple box and co-create with others, make memories, take time to laugh and play and sing and dance? For you all are striving for this when you are trying to move into what you call the new earth. You are the creators. You are the change. It's up to you to make the decision. Are you going to let go of all the things that no longer serve you? And start to take time to carve out a life that when you get to your last day, you can look back and say, I lived a fulfilling and successful life. I did all the things that I wanted to do. I experienced all the things that I wanted to experience. Or are you going to get to the end of your life and look back and say, I should have done a could have, should have done a could have, should have done more time, I should have spent more time with my family, with my friends, and those that I loved. Instead of reaching to buy plastic possessions that never fulfilled, never made me happy. It is your choice, dear ones. But we from the Central Sun want you to know that you are a fractal of light from the great Central Sun. And you came here to create something magnificent in your life, to experience. We do not want you to beat yourself up for the programming that occurs that made you feel like you had to be a slave to this earth. You were never meant to be a slave. The earth provides everything you need, and you are always provided with everything you need. What type of life do you want to create?
So, in this transmission through the great central sun, a radiant dragon first appears to create a safe green bubble of protection, later surrounded by golden light. Within this sacred space, a being from the Council of Nine steps forward, holding the great central sun, the source of all creation, and reminds us of our origins. We are each a fractal of this immense light, carrying its essence within us no matter where we journey. We came to Earth to experience life in the physical, to create, to learn, and to express our multidimensional nature as beings of light. The message urges humanity to pause and reflect. Are you truly living and experiencing life, or merely waiting for tomorrow? And are you investing your energy in external achievements and possessions, or in relationships, creativity, and what makes your heart sing? We are being called to choose consciously, to release the programming of fear and servitude, simplify where necessary, and create a life that feels rich and fulfilling rather than boxed in. The earth already provides all we need. We were never meant to be slaves to systems or materialism. The invitation from the great central sun is to reclaim our freedom, joy, and creativity, co-creating a life and a new earth where we live fully, love deeply, and shine our light ever brighter. So after this message, I felt inspired to create an energetic procedure for anyone watching, a practice designed to help humanity embody these teachings and integrate them into their daily lives. What follows is what came through. This is the embodiment transmission, Return to the Fractal of Light. It is a practice designed to help humanity embody the teachings from the great central sun into our daily lives. Take a deep breath in, and as you exhale, allow the weight of the day to melt away. Feel the earth beneath you, the steady, nurturing support of Gaia. Allow your spine to lengthen, your shoulders to soften, your heart to open. Visualize soft green light rising from the earth, swirling around your body like a gentle mist. This green light forms a bubble of protection, a space of safety and peace. Within this bubble, you are completely held, completely secure. Allow your nervous system to settle and feel your heart slow, your breath deepen. And in your mind's eye, invite the dragon of the green ray to step forward. See its long, powerful form perched before you, eyes gleaming with wisdom. It places its wings around your bubble of green light, amplifying your protection and strength. Feel its presence stabilizing you, reminding you, you have nothing to fear. You are safe to remember who you are. Now, above your head, sense a soft, white, golden light far in the distance, the great central sun. And with each breath, It draws nearer, brighter, more radiant. A stream of golden light begins to flow from the great central sun down through the crown of your head, moving into your heart, your belly, your whole body. I am a fractal of the great central sun. I am source light, experiencing life in form. I remember why I came. As the golden light fills you, imagine a spark, a small spark or crystal at the center of your heart. This spark holds the original intention of your soul, what you came to experience, create, and express in this lifetime. Ask yourself gently, show me what my fractal of source came to create now. You may see images, feel emotions, hear words, or simply sense a knowing. Allow whatever arises to come without judgment. We now begin to anchor into your reality. Take a few breaths and see the golden light expanding outward from your heart, infusing your green bubble, your dragon guardian, and the space around you. This light begins to weave itself into the fabric of your life, your home, your relationships, your work, your creative expression. Say aloud or within, I am the creator of my reality. I choose to build my life upon my true values. I release all programming that no longer serves me. I co-create with joy, freedom, and love. Feel this truth settle into your body, your cells, your energy field. Visualize the golden light sealing into your heart, like a sun rising within you. The dragon bows and slowly dissolves into green mist, leaving its strength within you. Your green bubble softens into your aura, still present but lighter. Take 3 deep breaths, and on each exhale, feel yourself more anchored, more alive, more radiant. Take another breath in, and breathe it out. One more breath in, and breathe it back out. Place your hand on your heart and whisper, I am here. I am ready. I am the light of the great central sun. Creating my life now. And when you are ready, gently open your eyes, bringing this frequency back with you into the physical world. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I certainly did enjoy creating this video this week. And I'd like to extend an invitation to those of you watching this video to go deeper into this teaching. I've created a special bonus video, a short daily practice to help you repattern your mind and energy field from your authentic source light. You can receive this bonus by signing up for my email list. And if you're already on my email list, you will automatically get this. Through my newsletter, I share updates when new videos are uploaded, as well as offerings for the collective that go beyond what I share in my weekly messages. It's also the best way to stay connected and not miss future content, since social media algorithms don't always show everything. If you'd like access to the bonus video and to be first to hear about my upcoming offerings, simply fill out the form on my website to join my newsletter. The link is available in the description notes of this video. And thank you so much for watching today. I truly value each and every one of you who takes time to connect with the messages. If this video resonated with you, I love your support in helping me reach more people. Please consider subscribing, sharing, and leaving a comment. Every action helps the algorithm show this content to more souls who may benefit from it. Your presence here matters, and I'm deeply grateful for you. Until next time, take gentle care of yourself and keep shining your light.